Larry Elder, you guys might know by now, he is running for governor of California with Newsom being recalled. Over 2 million people voted to have him recalled, and if all goes as planned, he will be recalled, and Larry Elder will be the next governor of California and the first black man of California, which is a pretty big milestone. The left is all about labels, except when they're conservative. There's nobody the left hates more than a black conservative. That is a big no-no to them. People were talking about foul play. Will there be foul play? I mean,
I'm at the San Diego County Registrar's office. I came down here to vote for Larry Elder in person because my ballot never made it to my house. How convenient.
They just found a guy, a drug addict, in his car with a bunch of ballots. That's not a good sign straight off the bat. Dave Rubin reported that there was some kind of error with the machines and all this other stuff.
Guys, I just voted. Yes, I voted yes on the recall. And yes, I voted for Larry Elder to be the next governor of California. Actually, my ballot, I did it electronically, and then you have to put your paper ballot in. It rejected it 4 times, and then it kicked me out of the system. And a guy came over. They looked at my ballot. It actually misprinted. The print was all screwed up. I actually have photographic evidence of that, and then they wrote void on the back of my ballot. I have photographic evidence of that, and the pollster knew who I was, so I'm not making this up. And then I had to re-enter everything else. I did it again, and it all did work the second time. One of the other interesting things, at least on the electronic machines here in Los Angeles, is that you click yes on recall, and then to get to Larry Elder's name, you have to press more 8 times. 8 times you have to press on screen more just to get to Larry Elder's name. Just a little bit of interesting info. But anyway, my ballot misprinted, was rejected 4 times. They voided it, and I had to vote again. Didn't have to show an ID, so all's good. Anyway, September 14th is the recall, everybody. Vote yes on the recall and vote for a good man, Larry Elder.
But the left are scared. They are scared. They are, if you guys look at the LA Times website, which I just looked at before this video, and it is insane. Every single article is attacking Larry Elder, and some of them are absolutely absurd and incredibly racist. And I never use the word racist unless I choose my words very deliberately. I got to make sure that I'm like, this is actually racist. This is actually this thing before I use it. Because I don't like to throw around words like racist and evil. They're very strong, powerful words, and they should pack a punch. They're overused nowadays, unfortunately, but I choose them very deliberately. So when I say racist, I mean racist. LA Times calling Larry Elder the black face of white supremacy. You've been warned. Like, holy shit. Could you imagine if somebody on the right said that on somebody on the left? They're just blackface. They're the blackface of the Democratic Party. When I read that, I'm like, this has to be Babylon B. This is not real. Even when I sent it to a buddy of mine, he's like, this isn't real. I'm like, it is? I'm like, dude, I fact-checked it myself. It is real. The black face of white supremacy. And it's not the only time they've used it. They used it several times. Joy Reid, a couple other people have used, he's the black face of white supremacy. He's the black face of the Republican Party. That is really his face. He is a black person. But see, that is why I say the left is racist. This is the left. The left says you agree with us, you walk the walk, you talk the talk, you vote for who we want you to vote for, or you ain't black. Joe Biden said it.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump.
And people pass it off as a gap, but it's not a gap. That is how they think. There's nobody in the world. The most hated group in our country is, by the left, of course, by the left, is black conservatives. They feel like, hey, you owe us your vote. Just based on nothing other than your skin color. And if you say, well, no, I'm going to vote Republican, they say, okay, well, you ain't black. You're not a real black person. You're an Uncle Tom. You're a bootlegger. You're a traitor to your own race. And nobody sees that as racist somehow. They're saying because of your skin color and solely on your skin color, you need to vote a certain way. You need to think a certain way. And if you think a different way, not even necessarily conservative, but just not the leftist way, you ain't black. Just like former Vice President Joe Biden said. You're a traitor to your own race. Could you imagine if somebody on the right said that? A black man says, hey, I'm voting Democrat. Sorry, you're not real. You're not a real black person then. You're a traitor to your own race for voting Democrat. It would make every single headline across the country. We should be all Americans. I personally don't give a shit what your skin color is. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's anything. It means absolutely nothing to me. You're either a good, decent human being or you're not. Indecent and the decent. That is all there is. That's all there should be. But because I'm a conservative, I'm white, I'm automatically racist according to the left. You're racist without even knowing it. You're always racist because you're white. It's insane. You just can't win with them. It's like, no, you're saying because if this person's black, they need to do what you say. They need to vote the way you want them to vote. I'm saying they can do whatever the hell they want. Maybe that's voting Republican. Maybe that's for voting Democrat. Maybe it's not voting at all. They can do whatever the hell they want. They're Americans. White people are Americans. Black people are Americans. We are the... They always say, like, oh, no, America's not the only free country. I mean, we're becoming that now. You see, like, France and Australia. These incredible, crazy lockdowns. America really is the last stand for freedom. It is the final stand for freedom. And it's already not even looking good on our end. But we are the only country to be considered the great melting pot. Yeah, we have a dark history. There's some bad stuff in our history, but we've gotten better and better and better. And we should stop looking at the past. Start looking at what we've become, what we've created. We are a great country for all races. We are the great melting pot. The vast majority of people see that and understand that and appreciate that and love that. And I do. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's look at this first article real quick. Newsom rally speaker calls on Larry Elder. Calls Larry Elder. God, what is wrong with me today? Calls Larry Elder back. I'm having like Joe Biden right now.
Carrying Nazi flags, Jews in the...
All right. We have Newsom rally speaker calls Larry Elder a blackface on white supremacy. Holy. How is that okay with everybody? Holy shit. I need to make this bigger because my eyes aren't so good, and they make that is a little too big, but I'll accept it. My eyes aren't doing great. I gotta get it checked again. Might need a new prescription. But anyways, all right. So Newsom appeared at a Get Out the Vote event with black elected leaders in Crenshaw ahead of September 14th recall election, in which Californians will decide whether to recall the governor to keep him in office. Voters who choose yes to recall will also be able to pick from 46 candidates to replace the governor. Elder, a conservative radio host, is the clear frontrunner among the candidates and could make history as California's first black governor, according to LA reporters Kyle Stokes. Speakers at Monday's rally tried to paint him as a racist, of course. That's all they can say is racist. They have no other argument. That's why they hate black conservatives, because their argument, which it already contradicts themselves. They have said, multiple people on the left several times, that black people can't be racist. They've said that. I listen to a lot of radio shows. A lot of the callers say no, black people can't be racist. They can't. But now they're labeling Larry Elder as a racist. There's nothing the left hates more than a black conservative. Because their whole game is to push racism on the right. They're the racist, don't vote for them. They waste so much time and energy that it's like they waste so much time and energy and money just throwing racism at the right. And after all that, if a black person still is like, I'm a Republican, I'm a conservative, they get pissed off. They're like, what the hell? Dude, we just wasted so much time and energy telling you that they're the racist and you're still going to vote for them? F you. You're an Uncle Tom. You're a loser. It pisses them off. They hate it. Because black people to them are nothing but pawns. They're nothing but a vote. That is it. They've proven that time and time again. What did Joe Biden say? He's on a roll now. What do you say? So far, he said blacks are too stupid to use the internet. He said they don't know how to use it. He threw Hispanics in there for that one. He said Hispanics and blacks.
A lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccination.
Which is insane. He also, what was the other thing he said? That they don't know their way to the DMV. They can't find it. He also said they can't use, they don't know how to get an ID. Kamala Harris said they don't know how to use photocopiers. I'm just like listening to all this stuff. I'm like, holy shit, guys, how are you not calling them the racist? How are you still saying they're in the right after all this? They just said the entire black community is too stupid to use a photocopier to find their way to the DMV. It is insane. It is insane just how low of an opinion they have of black people, the left. And they get away with it somehow. I don't know how they do it. It's amazing. Well, actually, I do know how they do it, because, I mean, they literally own everything. Big tech. All the athletes, celebrities, Hollywood, Facebook, Twitter, all the richest and biggest, most famous people on Earth are the left. But they still call themselves the resistance somehow. I don't know how that happened. They're good, though. Again, they control the narrative, so they can say what they want. People will believe it. So without mentioning Elder by name, State Senator Sidney Kamlager, retarded name, said there's a recall challenger who thinks he might have an edge because of his color, but racism comes in all shapes and sizes, and we're not stupid. Melania Abdullah, a professor at, already professor right there, lose all credibility with me. State University of Los Angeles followed up by saying, "She didn't say his name, but I will. Larry Elder is a blackface on white supremacy." Well, he's a goddamn racist. I don't even know if she's white or black or Asian or anything. I don't know anything about her, but she's a racist. Because right there, what she is saying, by saying he's blackface, is saying he's not a real black person. So why isn't he a real black person? If she was honest, she would say, because he doesn't agree with us. Larry Elder doesn't agree with us. You agree with us, or you're a traitor. You're an Uncle Tom, you're a bootlicker, you're all this stuff. That is what the left thinks. They say, hey, you owe us your vote because of your skin color. You owe us. It's insanely racist. Then we have the clip I wanted to get to, which you can see right here.
Motherfucker, touch me again! Don't touch me again! Don't touch her, motherfucker! Don't touch me again, motherfucker! I'll pop him in the motherfucker nose! Touch me again! I'll fuck you up, motherfucker! What you do? You don't hear anything. Grab her ass, motherfucker! You understand me, boy? We're gonna rip your head. Hey!
So a white liberal in a gorilla mask throws an egg at a black man, and nobody on the left says that's racist. Nobody, there's no outcry. There's just praise. First of all, what's with the guy grunting? What the hell? These people are deranged. They're out of their goddamn minds. They're not normal human beings. She's in a freaking gorilla mask, throwing slurs and eggs, profanity, all this stuff at a black man, and nobody says anything. Nobody cares. Doesn't make headlines. Just imagine if it was reversed. I don't like to always do the whataboutism, but this is one case where it is like, holy shit. This would absolutely be considered a hate crime if it was the other way around. It should be a hate crime. When I watch this, I'm just like, oh my god, she's in a gorilla mask, cursing and cussing and throwing slurs and eggs at a black man. For no other reason other than they have a disagreement. That is it. The left treats black people like shit if they disagree with them. They treat them like absolute garbage. And they somehow get away with not being the racist ones. And again, I know how they do it because they control everything. Like, what are we supposed to do? And they call themselves the resistance. How? You guys control everything. You have all the money, you have all the fame, you have the athletes, you have all the Hollywood. You have all the news networks, you have big tech on your side, you have everything on your side. So they can say whatever the hell they want and they get away with it. I still can't get over this. When I first saw this, And I wanted to report on it a few days ago, but I was busy with some family stuff. I'm just like, I cannot believe they got away with this, and no one's saying anything. The blackface and white supremacy, it is incredible. Larry Elder's really just exposing the left for all their racism, which we always knew. They're the party that founded the KKK. They're the party that Jim Crow. They're the party that thinks black people are too stupid to get an ID. And not to mention, any state that requires a voter ID, it's free. It's free. If you want a voter ID in a state that requires it, it's free. But it amazes me the silence of the media after this. Larry Elder, he's a good dude. He's incredibly smart. I totally recommend checking out his documentary, Uncle Tom. It is a fantastic documentary. Totally snubbed by the Oscars, but who cares at the Oscars? It is an amazing documentary. It is one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. I watch a lot of documentaries. I like them, but this is, oh my god, this is top 3 for me. Totally well done. Lots of great people in there. Candace Owens, Herman Cain, lots of great people. Brandon Tatum, one of my favorites. It is a great documentary. Highly recommend it. I'll link it in the description below. It's on Amazon Prime, so if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it. Man, and I'll also link his most famous interview with Dave Rubin, who Dave Rubin's a fan of him now. Dave Rubin says this is it was probably his red pill moment. And I'll link that interview as well. But yeah, that I just recommend go out and vote. Don't let the narratives cloud your judgment. Larry Elder's a good dude. He's not a good dude because he's black or he's not black. He's just a good dude overall. And he even said he doesn't want people voting for him or not voting for him because he's black.
You know, if I were a Democrat, obviously, this would be called systemic racism. They'd be calling it a hate crime. I don't like to play that game. I do know this. There was a big article about me, a negative, in the New York Times. It never once mentioned that I'm black, never once mentioned that I would be the first black governor of California. I never made a big deal out about that. I don't want people to vote for me or against me because I'm black. But on the very same page of the New York Times, there was a big article about the, quote, first female governor of New York, close quote. Even though she didn't get elected, she was basically appointed because the other governor resigned. So they cared about the first when it was a female Democrat, but couldn't give a rip about the first when it was a black Republican.
Which is a huge difference from people on the left. He's a good man. And I really hope and I believe that he'll be the next governor of California and he'll save that state because it is declining quickly and fast. That's why over 2 million people signed the recall. But anyways, guys, if you want to support the channel, make sure you guys like and subscribe and hit the notification bell when you update when I upload my next video. I appreciate you guys. Comment below what you think. Was this a hate crime? Do you think it was a hate crime? Why do liberals treat black people so shitty if they just disagree with them? How do they get away with always being the non-racist? Just virtue signaling. And they're good at it. I can't blame them. They're good at it. But let me know what your thoughts on this whole thing. If you're from California, are you going to be voting for Larry Elder? You don't have to tell me that, but I'm curious if you want to talk about it. I'm really curious to talk about people who are going to vote for him or excited to vote for him. I've been listening to Larry Elder for a while. I kind of laugh at these people that are just like, oh, Larry Elder's this and Larry Elder's that. I'm like, you don't even know he existed until he did this recall thing. Get out of here. He's a good dude. I used to listen to him when he used to fill in for Dennis Prager, and then he got his own show recently. He's a good dude. He's a smart dude. I truly believe he'll save California. But we'll see. We can hope. We can pray. And check out my socials and my sources in the link below, in the description below. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace out, guys.